Okay, Mark, how did you survive the crypto winter?
I survived. It's
You didn't survive, you thrived. You were very smart about it.
well, yeah. I mean, it's been a hard 15 months, I would say. But for my companies, when we realized that it was not a short-term thing, we started to reduce costs. We focused on literally surviving. We were like, okay, if it's going to last 2-3 years, we want to be the last man standing. So we stopped doing marketing. We really reduced costs. Less people in the office.
You went sailing in Thailand.
I did, yeah. The past 3 months, basically, we worked from Thailand. We subleased our office to another company, and work remotely from a house on the beach, and that worked very well.
What a way to survive, cutting costs and living in Thailand and sailing and having a fun. What's your analysis of the crypto market? Where are we now?
So I think the bear market has clearly ended. It's we see higher lows every time, which is very important. I'm still not a big fan of technical analysis, but I sort of start believing in it now because what people were saying actually is happening. I think we now had a bull market that started basically on April 1. If this keeps on going for a few weeks longer, I think retail will come back into the market. What you're seeing right now is the people that are buying are people like me that are probably better informed than most, and that really believe and that the bottom is in. There's a bull market that started. So more people getting in the market. The people selling are still people that are sort of feel like, okay, finally it's going up a bit. I'm gonna get rid of my Bitcoin because I don't believe in it. In a few weeks, things will change because if you see a few weeks of positive results, more retail players will probably start buying coins, and at the same time, people that are selling right now will probably say, we've seen 4 to 6 or 8 weeks of positive returns. I wait a bit. I'm not going to sell right now. And the moment that happens, you have the supply and demand imbalance, where there's more demand than supply, and basically leads to increasing prices, and that reinforces this whole thing. So I think the biggest reason why the bear market happened last year is because retail went out completely, and they may come back. The other reason is that institutional investors, were still not in the market last year.
Yeah, you were really hoping for them to come in the market already a year ago. And is it technical or is it more sentiment?
No, it's not sentiment at all. It's technical. The institutions are waiting for the right products to come onto the market, and they're still not there. I thought they would be there a year ago, and they're still not really launched.
What do we need? What kind of products do we need?
We need a few things. Most important, I think, is a good custodial solution. So basically, an institution that stores the coins for other institutions. But then, what's very important also is going to be an ETF, an exchange-traded fund for Bitcoin, that allows funds to invest in a tradable products on an exchange.
Good, well-regulated, SEC-approved RTF, and we've been waiting that for forever. When they haven't done it.
No, it's been people started working on ETFs 4 or 5 years ago already, and there's always reasons why they haven't been launched. But I do believe we're getting pretty close to one. We were supposed to have one in February already, but then Trump closed the U.S. government, and so then they basically
SEC closed down.
The SEC closed down, so they couldn't approve it, and the Van Eck, the company behind it, took it back, and now resubmitted it actually. So that's important, and then of course also in the futures markets, the backed futures that will launch this year. They are Bitcoin settled futures, very important. So if you buy Bitcoin futures, you settle in dollars. So if you win, you get dollars. If you lose, you sell dollars. In the future, you have to physically deliver Bitcoin. So if you do this, you have to give Bitcoin to people. That means you need to buy those Bitcoin on the market. That's a big thing, and people may not see that yet. But the moment that thing launches,
that will increase volume in Bitcoins itself. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So
now it's more a separate market which is not connected.
Correct. Yeah. And I think on top of this, we're getting closer to the halving of Bitcoin in about a year from now. The halving of Bitcoin. So basically, the hash rate goes down. So basically, the mining reward goes down by 50%. So Bitcoin miners get only 50% of what they get right now. That's going to be a big thing as well. So that means the supply of Bitcoin goes down by 50%. The mining supply, and it has a big impact on price. So all these things, I think.
Great for your Hot 8 company.
Yeah, no complaints there. It's yeah. No, I mean, look, Hut 8 is a great company. I think they are still the biggest publicly listed miner in the world. Their main competitors are not doing that well. If you look at Bitmain, for example, is going down the drain in China. Bitfury is doing very well. Our biggest shareholder. Stock price is not doing well at all, unfortunately.
How much did you? How much was it when you went public?
The first price, I think it traded at was 430 or something. I think it's 125, so it's about a third right now. I think what it was.
Is it still profitable? With you have extremely good energy prices.
Yeah, we have the lowest energy prices in Canada basically, and we have the best miners. So I think.
But is it still profitable with the?
For sure. No, I mean, especially now that Bitcoin goes up again, it's a good thing for us. I mean, the hash rate went up a lot, but because if you're among the most efficient players in the world, everybody else has to be unprofitable before you're going to be unprofitable.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the view from the supply and demand, up and down, a little bit on detail. Very timing is everything. What about the big picture? Crypto is not used anywhere for serious purposes. What needs to be? What role will it play? Is it only a store of value, or do you see that that cryptocurrencies will be used for useful things?
Oh yeah, for sure. I still, I'm not a big fan of the fiat currency world, as you know. I think it will eventually be disrupted by Bitcoin, and so the biggest thing Bitcoin is going to do is going to be basically a replacement for the fiat system. But it's going to be a long-term play. I mean, it could be fast.
You still are convinced that Bitcoin or a crypto, because I mean, there's central banks which are thinking about a crypto where there's going to be a European digital cryptocurrency, but you think that it's separate from the current financial system?
Yeah, because they are fiat cryptocurrencies. Stable coins are based on fiat currencies, or their stable coins are based on an asset basically. But the ones that the central banks are going to launch, including the one that Facebook is going to launch, is going to be a stable coin based on existing fiat currencies. So they're not real competition for Bitcoin, because if fiat currencies start crashing, it's over and out for the stable coins as well. I mean, look at one thing. Venezuela is a good one, right? In the 1950s, the Venezuela bolivar was stronger than the Swiss franc. People don't realize this, And right now the dollar is still doing pretty well. That could change fairly quickly, I think. So, don't bet all your.
It's not the world currency anymore. That is, of course.
Yeah. No, so I mean that's why I think real cryptocurrencies will eventually win, but that's going to be a long-term thing. That's not something that's going to happen over the next 6 months or not even the next 2-3 years probably.
But in 10 years?
I think in 10 years, a lot can happen in 10 years. A lot more than people think. That's one thing. I do also believe that crypto is a very good way of paying for things. Bitcoin specifically. As you know, I'm a big fan of the Lightning Network, which allows very fast transactions for a very low price. But it's only for small transactions. You're not going to use it to buy a house, but it's for paying a coffee or right now nobody pays a coffee in Bitcoin because it's too expensive to the transaction and it takes too much time. Lightning solves this, and Lightning has developed so much over the past 12 months. It's come such a long way. So that's something I really believe in. So I'm still bullish, just like I was a year ago. Nothing has.
Your prediction is on April 1st the bull started, and it will take and it will continue for a while.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think the bottom is in, and I think we've seen the worst. We'll still may go down a little bit, maybe to 4,500, 5,000, but we won't go down to the 3,000s anymore. And it's much more likely we'll see 6,000 first and then 4,500. So my predictions haven't really changed. The timeline has changed, and that's really it took a lot more time than I thought than it would ever take. I'm always too optimistic. I know that, but I'm an entrepreneur, so that's why I am, and that's the only way you can be an entrepreneur. If you're always negative, you can't be that. But yeah.
You went 3 months sailing in Thailand. What's your plan now?
Oh, back to work full time. It's a crazy traveling schedule.
But what are you doing?
Meeting people, working on a security token exchange a regulated security token exchange in Canada. Working, doing good investments in companies. I mean, prices are very low right now. I am working on finding good companies, mainly in Asia and Europe, and taking them public in Canada. So basically, this investment banking side of what I'm doing. I'm just speaking a lot to people, trying to understand what's going to happen, understanding the crypto market in and out better than most people, and trading based on that.
Sounds like we're going to have more plans you're coming with more plans in a couple of months from now. So that will be fun. Okay, so this was the update of the crypto market and the prediction of what's to come. We're in the bull market, according to Marc. And we're going to see what's happened next, and we're going to see what his plans are. Thanks.
You're welcome.